Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I'm your average guy, Sahil Gogna, and today's video is going to be very inspirational for those who want to land a good job at top tech companies. This video is about the journey of a college student who worked as a security guard, got more than 35 rejection in the technical interviews, and finally he was able to land a very good job at Google. So this is going to be a packed video with motivation, with the inspiration, and I'm pretty sure that you guys will learn a lot from this video. So without any delay, let's get started. So hi Kalhaar, first of all, thanks a lot for sparing your time and joining this call today.
My pleasure being here.
So Kalhaar, firstly, before I ask you any questions about your journey, about getting a job in Google, I would like you to introduce yourself to audience. So please tell us your current profile at Google, any previous job that you have done here in Canada, your college, how did you come to Canada, and something about your bachelor's degree back in India.
Sure. So I'm a technical solutions developer at Google, and prior to that, the first job that I did was as a DevOps engineer at Anthos. And again, prior to that, I did my study at Lambton College, and my course was cloud computing for big data. And again, going much back, I did my bachelor's in computer engineering at Ipkoala Institute of Engineering in Dharmaj. So that's kind of in a small town, and yeah, that's my introduction.
And Kalhaar, let's jump directly into the main question that every student has in mind, that if they want to land a good technical job in Google or some other top companies, what's the role of a college or a university for you? How much did you learn at college that helped you in getting this job, or how was your journey? Please walk us through that.
So firstly, letting you know that I don't think so it is much important even at being being at a college, right? But it's good to be at college because then you will know your peer members, your other folks, right? And then there will be so much to learn from there. But then I think it doesn't matter if you are from college, university, it just doesn't matter, because at the end what they want to know is how much do you know, what skill sets do you have, and what is how as a person you are, right? That's all that matters. So I don't think so university or college would matter. But yeah, of course I know that university has that real high privilege, but at the end it doesn't matter.
Are you saying just for the sake of saying, or it's reality? Because when you were applying for jobs, I just want to ask you the first thing, that did you ever feel that being from college was ever a disadvantage for you, when you were applying for the jobs, right? And especially, let's firstly talk about the Google, and then we'll talk in general, what were the major challenges. But when you applied for your job at Google, did you ever feel that it was any disadvantage in the interviews, or at any point that you were from a college and you should have been a university student here in Canada?
So Google is my second job, right? So prior to that, I was a DevOps engineer at Anthos, and the experience that I gained there was priceless, right? Because everything that I learned was just in my first company, right? And that really shaped me well, right? And that really helped me. But if I talk about my first job, right, that there was a DevOps engineer at Anthos, right? It was kind of hard because I feel the job that I got in Anthos was my 37th interview, right?
Oh.
So prior to that, it was 36 interviews. It taught me a lot of things, right? Until 28th interview, I just figured out, okay, this is my perfect resume, and then okay, now if I apply to at any company with this resume, I'll at least get an interview, or maybe an initial screening call, right? So that was the thing. But then I think when I kind of started, right, I thought it would be hard for me to, because I was a college student, and that I had no prior experience even in India, right? So that was kind of difficult. I feel myself a bit discouraged, right? But then it was just motive to do something, right? Because back then I was a security guard. I used to work as a security guard, right? So it was I could have done there for a year and I would get my PR, because they would show me supervisor, all that stuff. But then if I came here, I just wanted to make most out of my time, and so I just worked a bit hard, and then yeah.
Okay, so you mentioned 2 points. One was you got a lot of rejections from different companies that you were applying for, and secondly, you worked as security guard and everything, the whole journey that you went through as a college student, right? So firstly, let's talk about your journey as a college student. So we all think that, so if someone is landing a job at Google, or he or she must be very smart from the beginning, or must have very strong skill set from the beginning. So what was your journey in this? Like when you joined this college, were you always that much skilled? You had all the technical skills from the beginning, or this is something that you learned with time? So how was your journey from learning the first skill till the time you landed your first job in Google?
So going much back, so I'm just going back to my bachelor's life right in India. When I was like in my last year, I did my first internship as an Android developer, and that too for 1 year, right? There I kind of know, how the industry works, right? I got to know the technicalities of everything, right? But to be honest, I didn't kind of learn more about it because like it was a short time, and then the only thing that I was much better at that time was in designing. Like in the Android development, I used to kind of design whole of the framework and all that stuff. That's where I was more good on. And then after that, like, I was kind of, I got to know about the Firebase. So Firebase is kind of a cloud technology, right? But then like, I just wanted to explore more of the cloud side after that experience, right? So I thought of applying, maybe having my career is like in outside country, right? So I thought of going to Canada. Here I took the course of like cloud computing for big data in Lambton College, though it was not like people were telling me, just go to university and everything, but then as an international student, you pay a lot of fee in the universities, and that sometimes it doesn't just match your profile, because my marks were also not that good. So I was forced to take it to Lambton College. So I came here, studied a bit, right? And then it was more about, I came to know about this like DevOps, right? At the first place, when I was here in this college, in my Lambton College, that's where I knew there was something called DevOps, and it existed. So I have my friends, like they were like really good friends, and then they were also my team members in the project, right? So that's where I kind of learned most of the things were like, because when I started here, I had no idea of what DevOps was, right? And so I learned everything from them, right? And then again, it was like just knew the basic overview of the DevOps, right? And then it was all self-learning as well. So that kind of pushed me to do something in the field of DevOps. But still, to be honest, I was not that ready, right? So we also, in the final year, we also had this project, right? The capstone project, this is what we say. Like, to be honest, I didn't contribute much to it, but then it was like because like everyone in my team were all experienced people, right? They had their prior job experience in India. So I didn't do much, but then like I just thought of like learning the things. I helped them, but it was less, to be honest, right? And yeah, this is how I kind of did the stuff in the third semester. Then the fourth semester came, and it was like I had to get a co-op, but then it was like really hard. It was COVID time, people were kind of getting laid off, and then that's what the job market was like really hard to get in, right? So I tried to get my co-op, but eventually didn't get up anywhere. So I had to do the project, right? So it was good, right? Like I didn't get it, that was good, right? I think that was much better, because then at that 3 months of period, I came to know that I'm in nowhere, right? I need to develop my skills, right? And that's where I was like also doing a security job. So I was doing a night shift, and like as a security guard, I was doing a night shift. And actually at the night, no one just really cares, right? So I used to get my laptop there, like whole night I used to learn, right? And in the morning, I like most days I used to have my scheduled interview. So that was from 10 to 12. So after doing night shift, I used to do my interview at 10 to 12. That's where I did my interviews, and then again back to sleep, and this kind of repeated. And then like till 20th interview, I just I was just frustrated, right? Because like I was getting nowhere, like even after giving this much interviews, and then I kind of figured out, like in this time also figured out how to get a perfect resume. Right. At the end of 20th interview, I had a perfect resume, which would like, if I would apply with that resume, I can at least get an interview, right? So that yeah, I'm also attaching my resume in my LinkedIn, right? So if everyone wants to see, it's in my LinkedIn. Like that was the thing, and then I was like just demotivated for some time, because like I was getting nowhere. Then again, my parents motivated me, and then also I thought if I came here, it was for some purpose, right? I just don't want to do this security for like maybe for whole life, right? Yeah. So it was kind of a bit hard for me. Then I gave every interview, like it was like learning, right? Because every time I failed, I knew, okay, this was the point that I should have focused more on, right? I also have an Excel sheet for all the interviews, right? Who was the interviewer, like who took the interview, and then also kind of reason for failure, right? So it kind of prepared me well. And then after that, I think this was the 37th interview at MDocs, right? And then like I didn't even knew when I applied at MDocs, but like I just applied, and then I just got a call from them and like, okay, let's have an interview. And this is where they kind of asked me questions, and like it was the basic interview, like, but the only thing that they needed was like the fundamental understanding of the DevOps, right? Like they also kind of gave me some tasks to do. I was able to do because of the failures. I would kind of praise the failures here. And then because all of this kind of mixed up, and then like the only thing that they wanted was like someone who is curious to learn, and then other thing they want to see is like attitude, right? So this is what my like interviewer told me at the end of my interview.
Okay.
So it was kind of good journey there, and then I got a job at MDocs, right? And from there, like I came into company, but then everything was whole different from what I learned in my college. So it was a kind of again self-learning, right? And I would like to mention my team lead and manager, which like in MDocs, right? They supported me like really well, right? Everything, to be honest, if I'm able to getting Google or anywhere, I would like really appreciate their work on me, right? Like they kind of helped me with everything, and so yeah. And then after 10 months, right? I was looking for another opportunity, and that's where I kind of got into Google.
So talking about your journey at Google, firstly, like this is a really great story of yours, like really inspirational one. I know a lot of students will get inspired that despite of all the challenges that you faced, you kept on working hard, and at the end you landed yourself a very good job, right? So talking about your journey at Google, so a lot of students think that they need to be from a top university to land a job at Google or some other top tech companies, or they should have strong internal referrals. Then only they can, like if they're not from university, right? So for the college student, they should have strong internal reference. So what was your journey? Did you apply for this position online, or did you have some internal references, or what was the scenario for you?
So like I just like when I got my perfect resume, I used to keep updating my resume with all the tasks that I do at MDocs and all that. Like I just kept updating my resume, so that out of nowhere I thought of maybe let's try my hands on applying at Google. So I went to their careers page, applied at Google, and then like I just had that whole the most they can do is just reject me, right? So I just applied, and then like the call that I got from recruiter was like after 4 months, right? So I applied, and then after 4 months the recruiter reached out to me, and then like she mentioned that like we are shortlisted your resume. And then again for me it was kind of really hard to believe. They also asked the recruiter to send me a test email. so just that, okay, I know it's genuine, right?
Yeah, it's not a scam.
It's not a scam. But talking on the point of is the university important or not? So like I have been here in like Google for a week, right? And I have kind of met so many people, right? I have seen so many people who are from like different industry, although like they are from electrical. Like I also found one of the SREs, right? So site reliability engineer, and he did actually civil, and then like he is in Google for like around 10 years, right? So I don't think so like they they care a lot about. The only thing that they need is you to have the skills, right?
So what were your interviews like? You were saying this part, so when you were in the interviews, did you ever feel that I'm from a college and I'm at a disadvantage, especially in the Google technical interviews?
So yeah, like until they give me like when I got my interview, like they started my interview, it was all basically mostly on the skill set. That's all they need, right? Like they wouldn't even ask me like which college, like introduce yourself. Like it was the introduction was there, but they didn't really care, right? Like
from which college
they don't really care, right? When you are at the gate of this interview, the only thing that they care is like does he have the right skill set to get in, or and then they also have this Googliness round, right, where they kind of see your attitude and how you kind of I would say soft skills,
the team player, and how you react to certain scenarios, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Kalhaar, while you were telling us your story, right, you mentioned one very good point, that you were not able to make it into a university because of your background marks, like they were not enough to get into a good university, or also like some student might have concern about their finances, right? So let's say a student who is not able to make it into a good university, he or she land into a college, right? How according to you they should plan their learning so that they can end up into a top tech company? Because I know like we cannot just rely on the course material that's provided by college, right? This is like you have also told that you have put in so much extra efforts to be there at Google. So what would you recommend them to, how they should plan their learning to be short?
So like this is kind of harsh reality, and then we need to agree upon this that like colleges don't teach you the tech skills that are required in the industry, right?
That's true.
This is a harsh reality, and everyone would agree with this. So only way to learn, I would say, is like just talk to people on LinkedIn, right? And just know about what is the industry standard, like what technical skills do I need for that industry to get into the industry, right? And then for every technology there is a roadmap, right? So if I had to go with roadmap for DevOps, right, then it will tell me how should I go to journey of DevOps, right? And then of course there's a YouTube, right, that's kind of learning pool of resource, right? So I think if there's someone who wants to go to cloud, we also have quick labs, right? At Google Cloud we have this quick lab, right? You can to kind of train you and hands-on training on cloud. So that's one thing that really helped me. Even though my first job had needed me to have AWS experience, but then the cloud is all the same, right? But it's just kind of different names. So Quick Labs is also one of the good resources. So there are many, it's just if you explore internet, there's so many resources.
Right.
Yeah.
So any of the top YouTube channels that you followed for your journey, for the learning process?
So for the DevOps, I would like to mention one of the really good YouTube channel, like Tech World with Nana, right? And she teaches DevOps is one of the best, I would say, right? So everything starting from DevOps, from learning containerization to Kubernetes, everything I think I learned from her.
Okay.
Yeah.
So guys, I know a lot of you have asked me earlier that you want some DevOps engineer to come on the channel and talk about their journey, tell the audience about their skill set, right? So let's give you a guys challenge. So if you guys are able to give this video 100 likes or at least 75 comments, right? So whenever this video reaches till 100 likes, we'll make another video. We'll talk in detail the technical conversation about being a DevOps engineer, about the skills, and also what should be the roadmap of a person if they want to land a good job here in Canada. Cool?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. So Kalhaar, any closing remarks for the people who are watching our video?
So I think one thing I would like to say is never be kind of demotivated just because you are in college. It's not about being in a place where I know, university has its own privileges, right? But I don't think so, being in college would stop you getting somewhere, right? Because it's more about, I would say, self-learning, right? That's what, when you go land your first job, that's where you will know that everything is just self-learning, because no one will kind of spoon feed you.
Right.
So that's one of the, suggestions. And also I think, be grateful to people, I would say, because even if you are coming into this journey, right? So I think it's more of my if I'm at Google, I would give more of my gratefulness to my manager, my team lead here at Amdocs. So that's these are the people who kind of taught me ins and out of my role. So I think that really helped me. So I think it's just about self-learning, and feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn. I'll ask Sahil to keep my link in the description.
Yeah,
and
sure.
Yeah.
So guys, that's all for today's video, and Kalhaar, once again, thanks a lot for sharing your valuable experience. And guys, we'll be coming up with more such videos. And firstly, thanks a lot, because of you guys, I'm able to connect with such great people like Kalhaar now. It's not only about professionally connecting, we are very good friends now, and we'll keep coming up with the new videos every week. So maybe in future we'll shoot the DevOps video too.
Yeah,
if you guys are able to make this video reach 100 likes.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm confident about it. Yeah.
Okay. So thanks a lot, guys. Please make sure to subscribe the channel, like this video again, and see you in the next video. Thanks a lot for watching.
Thank you very much.